Hello and welcome to The Gang Goes Through the McDonald's Drive-Thru. This is an April Fool's release for the year 2022 that was released by a group of visual novel devs, I guess. And you'll see a whole bunch of characters from different visual novels, and one of them would be Nerus from Nerus, Asterion from Minotaur Hotel, and this one rabbit dude from Burrows. And I don't know what his name is because I haven't read Burrows yet, even though everybody keeps telling me that I should, and I will eventually. And several other characters. I think I even saw a Super Fang sprite or something in there. But anyways, obviously since it's an April Fool's thing, don't expect something super, like, special awesome, okay? This is just for fun, okay? Anyways, well, let's begin and see what shenanigans are about to unfold. Nerus glances into the rearview mirror once again and is reminded of those eyes. Those damn 4 eyes. Damn, I'm famished. He's pulled from his self-reflection by the boisterous purple Bovo sitting just behind him. I could also go for food, yes. The Minotaur to his right chimes in as well, though his voice is quite a bit more patient. If the rest of you were planning on eating, of course. The great white shapeshifter in the driver's seat simply shrugs his shoulders. The beach does not make me particularly hungry. He feels a fist bump the back of his seat. Does anything? Ain't never seen any of y'all eat a real meal. Especially, The Bovo points at the silent creature sitting next to him. This mouse, as usual, stares off into space, his glassy, soulless eyes deadlock lovingly on some invisible entity. I mean, who the hell goes to the beach and doesn't do a damn thing there? We did go to the beach, didn't we? Asterion's eyes point dead forward on the highway as he utters his question. This is Louisiana, and we'll be pulling back into New Orleans soon. I would not be opposed to stopping for food, of course, had we not possessed a supple amount of food at home. I would ask Sevos to prepare a fine luncheon for us, were he not on an extended vacation himself. I am, of course, not incapable of cooking. Bullshit! You can't cook for shit. I seen your work. A particularly feisty distaste burns on the Bovo's tongue as he recalled the big white's attempt at a home-style breakfast this morning. Hey now, simmer down. No need to fling any insults, especially undeserved ones. Asterion wonders if the master would judge him for telling yet another lie, as his own stomach churns as he thought of his morning's breakfast. It was for the greater good. I do agree with our bovine companion, however. A fun day at the beach would be best capped with a nutritious and delicious meal of takeout and sodas. Nerus's eyes remain fixed on the road as he debates their options. Do you suppose that there is a takeout restaurant that offers a rare steak and a tall glass of Malbec? Asterion's eyes light up at the mention of Nerus's preferred meal. Perhaps. It's been some time since I've tasted the honey touch of grapes upon my tongue. You gotta be kidding me. If I didn't know any better, y'all walk into a movie theater and ask for buttered lobster. I'm sure there's a... Killigan's words trail off as he notices the rodent to his side had raised a solitary arm, pointing an elongated finger in his direction. Shivers run down the typically brave Bovo's back as he feels the presence of an otherworldly horror pierce right through him. Asterion turns back, catching a glimpse of the supernatural phenomenon happening just behind him. Ah, little creature. You want to go there, too? McDonald's? The mouse doesn't respond. His glassy gaze remained fixed on the direction his finger pointed. Asterion scans his memories, and to his surprise he finds a singular account of this particular restaurant. A guest complaining about the in-hotel food cooked by their chef, Luke, had instead asked for something called McDonald's. Luke, outraged, went on a 40-minute triad about how McDonald's has been going downhill for years. They don't make it like they used to. For fuck's sake, they don't even fry their apple pies anymore. The bull then, knowing his chef's taste in food all too well, chimes in. Maybe McDonald's isn't the best idea. Still tense and unable to speak freely, Killigan attempts to shake his head. Let's go there. McDonald's? Why would we go to McDonald's? We have McDonald's at home. I don't suppose I mind too much. I'm just unsure. Maybe it'll be okay. The purple Bovo, in a last-ditch effort to save his pride, makes direct eye contact with Asterion. Listen, I can tell this crowd will be rough to find a compromise on. Why don't we just go to McDonald's? He shivers again, unsure if the finger is still getting closer to him. But please... Nerus simply shrugs his shoulders. I suppose there is no harm in at least checking. Killigan sighs a sigh of relief as soon as a monstrosity besides him's accursed finger was no longer near. Luckily, he'd avoided drinking an excessive amount of beer at the beach, otherwise. I just don't know. I have a bad feeling of this. Nerus, shrugging off the bull's ominous warning, pulls into the McDonald's drive-thru. Nonsense. I'm sure everything will be fine. After all, it is simply a McDonald's restaurant. I'm sure nothing strange happens in those. My sister would beg to differ, and she worked at a McDonald's. Time passes slower in McDonald's. Especially now, while the store is empty, rush hour is long past and yet to come. Not much to do but stand around and look busy. Maybe wash dishes? Why are there so many dishes? It would be nice to have a decent conversation with a fellow co-worker. Though the company Levis finds himself with is anything but decent. Levis! The sharp outburst from the boss man, Virgil, catches Levis off guard. You've only been here for an hour. Now, how many blueberry acai flavored daily immune support plus extra strength 5-hour energy shots do you really need? I've been here for 7 hours. It is his 4th blueberry acai flavored daily immune support plus extra strength 5-hour energy shot. Just, you kids feebly cling to caffeine to get through a simple shift. Back in my day, we'd work millennia at a time with no breaks, for a buffalo nickel, no less. I'm tired. Sighs, you don't need anything more than the smile of a happy customer and the satisfaction of a job well done to get you through the day. I'm hungry. Due to either not hearing or not caring, Virgil barrels on, ignoring the complaints Levis is weakly posing. Speaking of your customer satisfaction, do you remember what the most important part of our uniform is? An enormous, thick finger points to the dog's chest area. A smile, sir? That's correct. Now you wouldn't want me to have to write you up for breaking dress code, yes? No, sir. A write-up wouldn't be the worst punishment Levis could receive. Right, so smile nice and wide so that we can get those customers' ratings up. You told me to stop asking customers for ratings. Yes, because you keep getting poor ratings. True. There are an unreasonable amount of 3- and 4-star ratings for the work I do here. Well, maybe if you worked harder and smiled more, people wouldn't be so inclined to give you a poor rating. Well, if they would give a written review with a rating, maybe I'd be able to improve. Well, maybe if you release a new chapter, you might get some positive responses. I think we might be talking about different things. Right. The silence in the McDonald's is palpable, only the crackle of the fryer fills the void. Don't you got some dishes to wash? Levis considers asking if Virgil could help him out, but remembers just how well that turned out last time. Maybe this was a good time to ask that other question. I was wondering if I could take a vacation soon. Vacation? You got all the vacation you need right here! When Virgil gets animated about something, there's difficulty in even attempting to get a word through. If you're looking to spend some time at the beach, might I remind you that we already sell fish sandwiches here in store. If you're trying to gamble, you know there's nothing more that I love than a good old coin flip. And if you mean to visit family, might I remind you that we've got the McDonald's family all right here. That broad smile of Virgil's never fails to unnerve Levis, even though the Golden Retriever had been working for him for... how long now? 2 builds? I was just thinking, I got a cross-country trip I have to make in a few weeks. Well, you know that whole thinking thing will get you in trouble. Aside from that, I've already got the schedule written up, and I can't change the schedule after it's been written. But sir, you've written the schedule out for 3 months in advance. It's never a bad time to be ahead of time. Of course, Virgil is right. He's always right. Levis supposes he'll have to give up on the trip with his friends. Wouldn't be the first time. Well, do you think I might be able to take a break soon? My feet are killing me. A break? What, with all these customers around? Super Fang. There are no customers in the restaurant. Fuck me. Listen, you do a good job and you get some good reviews, and I'll consider that little trip of yours. And your break. Oh, and fix the damn coffee machine, would ya? The bell notifying a customer has arrived at the drive-thru speaker goes off in Levis's headset. Fuck! Language, Levis! As the car is about to pull up to the unexpectedly barren drive-thru, however, its driver comes to a sudden realization. Ah, I had almost forgotten. With efficiently clearly resulting from routine, Nerus closes his 2 topmost eyes, which simply vanish from view. At the same time, one might think it's a trick of the light, as his fur gradually loses a bit of its stark whiteness. To complete the deception, the fur above his muzzle darkens and extends just a little bit farther than the surrounding hairs. Most of the others in the car were captivated by the quick transformation. I never get tired of seeing it. Must be nice to just change to whatever suits your mood. Ain't too many doorways that comfortably accommodate me. In my case, it regrettably has its limits, most notably... He eyes his protruding ribcage with some small irritation. Perhaps an open shirt was unwise. Still, at least this power is not subject to another's whim. Not that I have any particular strong preference. I wonder how you've changed. The others turn their head as the mouse breaks his lengthy silence. After a few painful seconds waiting for any kind of elaboration, the Minotaur politely speaks up. Sorry, who exactly were you talking about again? I must have missed it. In lieu of a response, the mouse simply goes back to tracing a circle on the window, leaving a noticeable smudge behind. Why do we pick up this kid again? The Bovo asks in a concerned whisper. Before anyone can offer a sufficient answer, the vehicle stops before a large plastic box. The group, sans mouse, looks expectantly towards it for what felt like an age before a lifeless voice drones out from it. Thank you for choosing McDonald's. What can... A muffled crash and an indistinct cursing could be heard, coming through the scratchy audio. Nerus is about to speak up, but the plastic box comes back to life. Fuck my life. What can I get for you today? Language! The shapeshifter turns to the rest of them. Do any of you know what you want? The others look deep in thought for varying reasons. I'm actually quite interested in this Happy Meal. It must be of surprising quality to promise such joy. The Minotaur's eyes are alight with a rare glint of optimism. In the meantime, Killigan looks perplexed by something as he stares at the menu. The hell's a burger? He blurts out. Asterion, with an uncomfortable and knowing expression, speaks up. Well, according to Luke. He leans in and whispers in the Bovo's ears, whose face falls. "I'll get the salad," Killigan says flatly. With some buns on the side. And I want to try all the sauces." He squints for a moment and frowns. "Set the buffalo sauce." Nerus relays the 2 orders and then ponders for a moment. "I suppose there is not a second menu hiding behind this one that offers a good steak and Malbec?" The shaky voice seems reluctant to comment, either avoiding conflict or not wanting to bother with the tedious explanation. There was no need to answer. It was not a question. "I will take an iced coffee, black. Lastly..." Nerus looks back and expects to take on the difficult task of getting an order out of Ollie. Much to everyone's surprise, the backseat window was already being rolled down. The gaunt mouse had already climbed over Killigan to lower the window. The Bovo looks ahead in barely concealed horror as the mouse in his lap places an order. "What the fuck?" "Double cheeseburger, no patties, extra napkins, cup of ice." The whole cabin is silent as Ollie's bony finger depresses the window button. The mouse nonchalantly crawls back into his domain in the back passenger seat and resumes staring longingly out of the window. "Actually, do not throw out the patties. I will take them. I believe that will be all." There is a faint audible sigh. "Okay, so, a Happy Meal, a garden salad with every dipping sauce?" "Not the buffalo." "Minus the buffalo sauce?" "A double cheeseburger with no patties, extra napkins, and a cup of ice." "A black iced coffee and 2 patties. Everything on the screen look correct?" "Everything is spelled properly, yes." "I... 1747, first window." The defeated voice instructs them. The shapeshifter pulls around to the window as instructed, where the group finally gets a good look at the jittery golden retriever. Ah, a face I know all too well. The Minotaur mutters as the money is exchanged. Killigan leans over, intrigued. "You know this guy?" "No, speaking from experience, however, I recognize that exact look. Those eyes lack even the faintest glimmer of hope." "Oh. It may take a moment, so if you could, pull around to one of those spots?" The employee gives a limp gesture to one of the numbered waiting area, and Nerus nods in compliance. Just as he is about to park, however... "Not this one." Killigan is staring daggers at something, and Nerus follows his steely gaze to the culprit. It's a tree. The fiend looms over the parking spot in all of its branching, twisting terror. Ah, right. Nerus elects to choose a different spot, leaving the arboreal menace behind. With the orders taken for the weird-ass hell customers at the drive-thru, Levis only has but a moment to collect himself. Only enough time to pull out his phone before 2 customers walk through the front door, ringing the obnoxious digital bell hooked up to a sensor that goes off every time any object obstructs the laser that points to the receiver. That's placed on either side of the door. Well, those customers outside can wait. Virgil always says to take care of the people that care to walk in first. I take orders very seriously. A red-maned wolf and his marine iguana friend approach the counter as they talk amongst themselves about their plan for their order. Do you know what you want, Trevor? Oh, no, I don't. Trevor stops mid-thought to awkwardly scratch the back of his ankle with his other foot. Damian doesn't seem to notice or care as he just silently stares at Trevor, waiting for an answer. What are you getting, Damian? If you want, I can go first while you decide what you want to get. Trevor begins to incoherently stutter as he freezes up looking at the various options that are on the digital display above and behind Levis' head. Yeah, go ahead. Levis puts on his best approximation of what a smile hopefully looks like as the cheerful yet probably airheaded wolf approaches the counter. Hello, and welcome to McDonald's. Damian stares at Levis's bland McDonald's-approved attire before staring at the dog's hideous attempt at being approachable. Hi, Levis. How are you today? I'm great. Living the dream. Levis was not, as they say, living the dream. And yourself? I'm great as well. Not a single complaint in the world. Just like seeing everyone smile. Yeah, same. Did you watch the new Furry Flex show? I don't watch shows. Levis doesn't particularly enjoy small talk with customers, but Damian is ignoring the hens. Oh, it's great. I love the tiger. I hope I get the toy this time. Oh, right. Well, you have 1 in 3 chances to get the new tiger action figure if you get a Happy Meal. Right, which is why I will get a Happy Meal with chicken nuggets. Levis presses a few buttons on that screen, inputting the wolf's rather simple order. Thank the lands. Great, is that all you want today? Well... not quite. Fuck. Well, what else can I get you then? Damian looks thoughtfully at the menu again before returning his overly cheerful gaze to Levis. Just to make sure I get the tiger, I'll order 12 more Happy Meals. 12? Okay. Chicken nuggets for all those as well? Damian takes a moment to think about his order and looks back at Trevor before continuing. Yeah, nuggets for all are fine as well. Great. Levis, scratching his chin in frustration, begins rapidly pressing buttons on his computer to input Damian's order. You know, I can just sell you the toy. For the price of the Happy Meal. It's fine. You don't need all that food. The wolf's eyes widen as he hears a solution to his problem that doesn't involve purchasing so much food. Really? We can do that? Sure. Technically it's against policy, but no one has to know, and Levis wouldn't have to cook so much food. Then I'll buy 15 Super Fang Superhero Mini Titan Nova plush toys. Please? 15? Huh? Oh, did I say that out loud? Sure. 15. Yes. Levis presses several more touch buttons on a screen as Damian looks at him expectingly. Okay, so a Happy Meal and 15 Super Fang dolls. Mm-hmm? Alright, will that be all? Well... not quite. There's no light, no peace, no joy here today. What else can I get you? Damian draws in a big breath of air. Okay, I'll have 3 hamburgers, a hamburger with cheese, 2 cheeseburgers, a cheeseburger with no pickles, and a cheeseburger with no cheese. And I'll have a small Coke, a large Diet Coke, 20 chicken nuggets, 20 more chicken nuggets, 10 chicken nuggets, and a hash brown. Oh, and are we still serving breakfast? We are not serving breakfast. Alright, then I'll have 20 more chicken nuggets instead. I'll have a Big Mac, a triple Big Mac, a chicken sandwich, a fish sandwich, and a chicken sandwich. I want the portobello mushroom burger and an order of pancakes. It's not breakfast still. Right, no pancakes. Then I'll have a small fry. So, is that all? Yup. Okay. So you'll be having... Levis draws in a big breath of air. 3 hamburgers, a hamburger with cheese, 2 cheeseburgers, a cheeseburger with no pickles, a cheeseburger with no cheese, a small Coke, a large Diet Coke, 20 chicken nuggets, 20 chicken nuggets, 20 chicken nuggets, and 20 chicken nuggets. A Big Mac, a triple Big Mac, a chicken sandwich, a fish sandwich, a chicken sandwich, a portobello mushroom burger, a Happy Meal, and 15 Super Fang Superhero Mini Titan Nova action toys. Did I get that right? Well... not quite. Oh? I'll have 3 hamburgers, a hamburger with cheese, 2 cheeseburgers, a cheeseburger with no pickles, a cheeseburger with no cheese, a small Coke, a large Diet Coke, 20 chicken nuggets, 10 chicken nuggets, and 20 chicken nuggets. A Big Mac, a triple Big Mac, a chicken sandwich, a fish sandwich, a chicken sandwich, a portobello mushroom burger, a Happy Meal, and 15 Super Fang Superhero Mini Titan Nova plush toys. 10 chicken nuggets. Got it. Several dozen more touch buttons are pressed before Levis returns his dead gaze back to Damian. Any sauce for the nuggets? No thank you. The wolf returns to his place next to the iguana as the scalier of the two steps up to the counter for his order. Are you two together? Trevor and Damian share a look, silently communicating with each other. A mental battle of sorts. Trevor folds like a stack of cards. Yeah, I have it. Alright, what can I get you then? Do you know what you want? The lizard begins shaking, as if he were caught in a blizzard. The shakes turn into tremors that run through every bone in his body, from his head to his tail. I can give you a moment if you like. No, The sweat pouring down Trevor's face was enough to mop the bathroom. His face, now a pale shadow of his original color, contorted into a pathetic mess. He looked back at his friend, Damian, for some help. The wolf merely stares back at him without a single thought behind those eyes. We have a special going on with the... No! Okay. Can I... Do you guys have I'll have, water? Just a water? Trevor's voice is pitched so high and squeaked so tight, it even makes Levis uncomfortable. Yes. Alright then. Levis shrugs as he places the finalized order into his computer. If that's all, the total comes out to $118.68. Trevor's eyes widen for a moment before he looks over at Damian, eyes pleading for something. Damian retains that empty smile as he returns his vacant eyes back to Trevor. Not a shred of intelligence to be found. Trevor pulls out his wallet and begins shuffling through his contents and pulls out what looks to be a stamp card. Do you guys accept this? It's certainly a McDonald's stamp card. It has all 9 stamps filled out as well, each stamp being a funny little caricature of Virgil's face. Levis cringes at his manager's likeness. Well, 9 stamps does mean you get a free meal. Pressing a few more buttons on the touchscreen, Levis scans a barcode on the back of the stamp card and places it in the register. After that, the total will be $116.47. Trevor begins his sweating again, his eyes bloodshot, skin growing paler and paler. He looks once again towards Damian, but the lifeless, blank, distant, staring eyes of his companion offer him no assistance or help. Trevor pulls a silver card from his wallet and hesitantly places it on the counter. Levis swiftly plucks the card off the surface and swipes it in the reader. Trevor lets out a small whine as the machine makes a beep signifying a successful sale. Alright, here's your card. Do you want your receipt? Trevor takes back his card with a defeated slump in his shoulders. Yeah, sure. Alright, just give it a moment to print. Here you go. The food will take a moment to be finished. I'll bring it to your table. Trevor takes the 4-foot-long receipt and returns to Damian. Did you know that Super Fang Superhero Mini Titan Nova plush toy is a limited edition run that's only going to be... The two leave the counter and go to find their seat. After waiting 9 minutes and 22 seconds for their order, the gang's morale was at an all-time low. Asterion, how long is this supposed to take? I mean, Luke was able to get orders out in less than 5 minutes when he ran the kitchen. I would hope fast food in this real world would live up to its name. Killigan leans back uneasily, positioning himself as far away from Moxaxic's mouse as possible. Can we just put on some music or something? Before Asterion can pull out his lyre, Nerus smoothly presses play on the CD player. Patience, Killigan. Let's enjoy this lovely smooth jazz while we wait for our nimble nourishment. I just noticed that Asterion's horns are poking the roof of the car. Grr! I'm tired of waiting! There's no one else here! I'm going inside to see where the hell our food is! Are you sure you want to do that in your current state of dress? Hey Gramps, I want a tournament arc wearing less than this. It's McDonald's, it's not fucking Olive Garden. Ollie pokes up his head in recognition and turns to face Killigan, wide-eyed, hands covering most of his face. No entry. Hey you little wacko, it's not my fault you decided you wanted to drown yourself just as we were about to leave. The Speedo I swam in was drier than my clothes are now. Ollie turns back to face towards the direction of the beach, placing his right palm on the window gently, as if he was petting it. Ah, I never got to say goodbye. I think you said enough. Besides, Mac took all my armor to get dry cleaned while he was out waiting in line for the Map-O-Maria Game Boy Bundle release day. Let's try to remain calm, everyone. Killigan, the accursed one, is most likely correct. There is a sign on the window that says... Asterion opens the window and leans closer, gaping. No shirt, no shoes, no pants, full service? God, I hope Luke's dress code policy was an outliner at these kind of establishments. Killigan smiles and opens a car door. Looks like I'm perfectly dressed for the occasion. Take that, Vermin Supreme! Ollie displays so little response to the auditory stimuli that biologists would have a hard time classifying him as alive. Asterion rubs the back of his neck and gives an awkward smile. Well, I guess that's more than I've been made to wear at times. Are you sure you're doing okay, Asterion? Come in with me. Let's bulldoze this joint. Asterion looks over at Nerus. Do you mind? I have heard so much about these places. I want to see if the description matches the real thing. Enjoy yourself, Your Highness. I'll stay out here and watch over the little one. Asterion squeezes out of the car and joins Killigan in walking towards the restaurant. Nerus sighs and looks back at Ollie. It's okay, little one. I can see you're anxious. I'm the mostly undefeated shapeshifter wrestling champion. Mostly as long as you count ribbons as a legal form of wrestling. Not that I am bitter or any. In any case, you are safe here. Ollie turns and stares right through the shapeshifter, his glassy-eyed gaze seeing through his very soul. Safe? Living each day unsure of what has come before? Having given up at grasping every passing minute, which fades like smoke in your hands? Is that safe? Nerus' brows furrows. How do you... As his voice trails off, he notices the mouse's body go limp, but then springs back to life, as if it were reborn. Nerus gets out of the car, yanks open the passenger side door, and wrestles Ollie out, carrying the crumpled mouse over his head, as if he was going to airplane spin him. Let us join the others inside. It is at this time of camaraderie that a quiet beep echoes through the mostly barren establishment, signaling a new customer. A mouse girl, short in stature and decked out in an outfit that could have very well been taken from a mannequin in Spencer's, entered the store. Rather than go up to the counter though, she spots the only other patrons in the restaurant and casually strides up. So, Oh, interesting. Yeah. Oh, is that Furry Flex show, yeah? Dude, I was so sad when Shax died. The rest at the table goes silent as she slides into the booth next to Trevor and interjects into the conversation. Damian looks as if he's gone pale. Spoilers! What? I haven't finished the season yet, but... Are you sure? Oh, might be. Anyway, how's it hanging, dudes? Trevor, who had been nervously eyeing her since she invaded his space, finally speaks up. I'm sorry, have we met before? The mouse girl's vacant expression as she contemplates the question shows no hint of arriving at an answer anytime soon. The, coffee shop? Still nothing. The iguana sighs. Your friends called me mean things until I left? Oh, right. That shit was funny. Good times, man. Trevor's uncomfortable silence was enough to show that the sentiment was not mutual. Naturally, Marnie took no notice of this. Never to get your name. And who's that friend you got here? Hey, I'm Damian. The bubbly wolf waves at her. Whoa, get out! But I just got here. Nah, I mean like, what a coincidence. Damian just scratches his head at that. Anyway, so... The mouse girl leans into Trevor's space, flipping her hair. What do you guys get? Trevor is having a difficult time trying to lean further into the wall, but still managing to reply. I just got water. Oh gosh, this seat's killing me. With all the subtlety of a firecracker, Marnie withdraws herself from the booth seat next to Trevor and his gaming setup and casually sits next to Damian. So, how about you? No, please! Well, I got... Damian inhales sharply. 3 hamburgers, a hamburger with cheese, 2 cheeseburgers, a cheeseburger with no pickles, a cheeseburger with no cheese, a small Coke, a large Diet Coke. Oh wow, that's a 20 chicken nuggets, 20 chicken nuggets, 10 chicken nuggets, and 20 chicken nuggets. Damn, that's... I wasn't done. A Big Mac, a triple Big Mac, a chicken sandwich, a fish sandwich, a chicken sandwich, a portobello mushroom burger. A Happy Meal and 15 Super Fang Superhero Mini Titan Nova plush toys. Well, that escalated quickly. Sounds like an epic mealtime. So, basically you got enough to maybe, like, share? Maybe? It's about my usual order, so... Marini looks genuinely at a loss. Holy shit, man. Damn, I don't even care about bumming off you dudes anymore. I just want to see how you managed to put all that down. Marini realizes that saying that last part out loud has brought another silence down upon the group. So... Super Fang, huh? A spark ignites in the maned wolf. Yeah! He's super cool. By day he's studying to save lives, and by moonlight, he's the bane of villains everywhere. Marini's eyes glaze over as Damian proceeds to go over everything about the character, stopping in some places to explain how the comics did things differently. She's only barely manages to get a word in. Oh, that's cool. I never got past episode 3 though. They were in that hospital for so long. Oh, but it gets so much better after the funeral. She barely acknowledges it, turning her attention back to Trevor, or more accurately, the sounds coming from his game. Yo, is that Eldest Wing? The iguana, who was deep in focus, raises his head and looks surprised. I thought you, played mobile games. Sometimes I borrow a friend's PC to stream the newest thing in cosplay. What kind of build you running? For the first time since her arrival, Trevor seems to loosen up a bit. Well, there's this shield that can shoot a beam back if a spell hits it. Uh-huh. But if I cast a spell that sets myself on fire, I can fire it repeatedly. It's very powerful. Awesome sauce! I just flick the blue rocks at people until they die. Magic for the win! It's crazy to let something like that in, but I'm glad I get to enjoy this build for this game's entire lifetime. Trevor looks like he is about to continue with another thought, but his mouth hangs open as he stares at something. Marini whips her head around and immediately recognizes the terrifying and absurd amount of fried food headed towards them. Levis is wheeling out the monstrous calorie dump on a repurposed cleaning cart. One of the wheels snags, sending a few of the nugget boxes and wrapped burgers tumbling off as the retriever curses under his breath. After placing them back with a minimal amount of standing water from the floor soaking the fallen items, he takes a deep breath. 3 burgers, a hamburger with cheese, 2 cheeseburgers, a cheeseburger with no pickles, a cheeseburger with no cheese, a small Coke, a large Diet Coke. 20 chicken nuggets, 20 chicken nuggets, 10 chicken nuggets, and 20 chicken nuggets. A Big Mac, a triple Big Mac, a chicken sandwich, a fish sandwich, a chicken sandwich, a portobello mushroom burger. A Happy Meal, and 15 Super Fang Superhero Mini Titan Nova action toys. Levis lists all the items with the enthusiasm of a walking corpse as he crowds the table with every item ordered. And 1 water. He sets the cup down next to Trevor and quickly wheels off before the group can ask for anything else. When Killigan and Asterion enter the building, neither the despondent golden retriever nor any other employees are anywhere to be found. It's a complete ghost town in here. How could anyone ever place an order? Oh, I think they use those. Asterion points to several kiosks with screens at eye level, displaying pictures of burgers, fries, and other mass-produced delights. It's just like the restaurant back at the hotel, except here the customers get to input their order. It's quite efficient. I don't know, seems a little eerie. Killigan looks around and spots Trevor, Marini, and Damian sitting at a table in the back. Let's check with them to see how long it took them to be served. Asterion and Killigan walk past the puddles of standing water on the floor to a table piled high with computer equipment and cheeseburgers. Killigan, do you want to do the top? Asterion does a double take, catching Killigan taking a long slurp of a yellow liquid from a bucket-sized McDonald's cup. Where did you get that? Killigan shrugs, taking another louder slurp. Asterion sighs and turns back to the table. Excuse me, fellow customers. Upon seeing the 2 bowl wines at the table, Damian sits straight up and lets out an excited scream. Wait! You're Asterion and Killigan! In a McDonald's! I love you guys! I'm flattered, sir, but how do you... Before Asterion can begin to question how his friend Killigan became so popular, the twangy crooning of Johnny Cash erupts from the tablet attached to Asterion's belt. Bull Rider. You gotta feel the way he's moving. You gotta watch his head. Asterion blushes to such an extent that it seems to have changed his skin into the breast cancer awareness pink DLC Asterion, coming soon, and lifts his tablet to his ear. Hello, my king? Asterion steps away from the group slightly. Wait, slow down. How did the kitchen end up on the roof? Asterion sighs, pinching his forehead, his hooves creating a moist staccato on the unkempt floor. No, at this rate you're going to want to do a full hotel reset to the last backup. Hold on a second. Asterion sheepishly smiles to Killigan as he hurries towards the front door. So, nice drink you found there, Kay. Did it have the ice still in it? Yes. There's ice. Ah! Upon mentioning the accursed water rocks, something deep within Trevor awakens. For once in his life, a protective instinct intervenes, slapping the cup out of Killigan's paw. It arcs through the air, crashing into the ground and releasing the flood of amber fluid out onto the floor. It flows through a delta of spilled chicken nuggets and straw wrappers on its way into the mopwater seas. The hell was that for? I don't know what the stuff was, but I was enjoying that. The reality of the situation hits the poor lizard as he is faced with a pissed-off Pole in a restaurant literally dripping in shades of red. A small crystal began forming on his back. I'm so sorry, Killigan. Whoa, Killigan's body actually makes crystals? This is just like in episode 15 on Furry Flex! The combination of seemingly being recognized and the strange lingo coming out of the wolf's mouth shakes Killigan out of his anger stupor. Furry Flex? What's that? Damian's eyes widen in zeal while Trevor lets out a breath of deliverance. It's only the best platformer for viewing all the anthropomorphic media you want. I've seen like every show on it, especially Nerus. Nerus is so cool. Some people say that the intro arc is too long, but they're just ignorant of the masterpiece that it is. Every single sentence of dialogue matters, and the later episodes recontextualize that earlier ones. Oh yeah, I love that show. My favorite part was when Shanks died and Nerus was like, no! What? That's not what happened. Spoilers! Again! Trevor whispers without looking up from his game. And then there's Nerus himself. He's so cool. He's so strong but emotionally deep. I want to be just like him when I grow up. Aren't you, like, in your 20s? I've even made a plushie that looks just like him. It's going to make some kid at the mall's lost kids home just a little less miserable from being lost. Killigan steps closer to admire the main wolf's handiwork. Oh yeah, he made that exact expression in the car earlier. Amidst all the obsessive energy, Damian's brain lags in processing that remark for a minute. Wait, you were in the car with Nerus? What's he like in real life? Have you seen him use his powers? Does he like waffles? Killigan takes a step back from the overexcited canine. I mean, yeah, he likes waffles, if you can call them that. But hold on, I'm still not sure what you mean by you watching us. Oh yeah, you, Asterion, Nerus, we all watch your adventures on the streaming platform. Still confused concerning the marvels of modern media consumption, something in Killigan's subconscious latches onto the word stream. Without another word, Killigan runs through the mellow yellow swamp on the way to the little bull's room. Heh, I wonder how many stands would pay for his mellow yellow. Trevor's body creaks as he cringes down into the crevices between the table and the booth. Marini stands up, grinning at the sad boy. Come on, you know someone would buy it. She says as she pats Trevor on the head, giving a waggle of her eyebrows and pointing a look at the resident superfan. Trevor dies a little inside. Damian is oblivious to the implication as he continues to demolish his order, which is at least half gone by this point. Dude, we should totally start a mukbang channel. I know people would pay good money to see this. I'll just take a cut of the ad revenue. Just then, Asterion reapproaches the table, having walked all the way around the spilled soda. Sorry about that. Did Killigan ask you what's up with the service here? We've been stuck in the drive-thru queue, waiting for... Constantly interrupted, Asterion's tablet begins to vibrate again. Asterion sighs and removes it from the bracket of his belt. What now, my love? A look of shock, irritation, disgust, and horror finds its way onto the Minotaur's face. Tell Luke to stay calm and tell Kimbish to find all the oil and kitchen grease he can get his hands on. On his way back out, Asterion pushes past Nerus and Ollie. Much to his own disappointment, Nerus found the front counter empty and unmanned. Nobody. Nothing. Ollie mutters in a barely audible whisper as he follows behind the shapeshifter, dragging the feet across the freshly waxed floor. Excuse me, as a paying customer, I demand service, if you will. Nerus' deep voice echoes throughout the restaurant, but apparently not enough to awaken the demon within. Or the demon without. I suppose there's nothing to it, but to ask again then. The great white shapeshifter clears his throat. Excuse me, as a paying customer, I demand service, if you will. Excuse me, as a paying customer, I demand service, if you will. Nerus stops as soon as he sees a familiar golden retriever turn the corner of the kitchen and approach the front counter. At least, he thinks he looks familiar. Those dead eyes were the kind one would have a tough time forgetting. Yes, sir. The retriever responds meekly, shoving his scratched-up phone back into his pocket. Ah, yes, the employee. Thank you for coming into work today. Levis's eyes stare right through the shapeshifter in front of him. How may I help you, sir? Nerus stares back at him in silent. Not interested in having a staring contest with a customer with so much other work on his plate, Levis clears his throat and tries again. How can I help? Silence. I have heard you the first time you said it. There is no need to repeat yourself. Levis blinks, losing the staring contest. You. The little creature to the shapeshifter's side mutters just loud enough for Levis to hear, as he appears to be nibbling on something dark. Okay, I've remembered everything I needed to tell you. The worker's attention jumps back to his customer, almost as if that's where it's supposed to be in the first place. My companions and I had gone through the drive-thru of your establishment quite some time ago. Okay, it's nice to see you back so soon, sir. Nerus shakes his head. In a perfect world, I would never have to hear your voice again, but here we are. Levis blinks. Nerus blinks right back at him. Alright, can I help? Perhaps you misheard me. I asked you not to repeat yourself. If Levis had any tears left to cry, he may have shed them now. You give Yes, creature, I was working towards that. You, servant of the McDonald's. Levis, having learned his lesson the hard way, doesn't respond. After I had gone through your master's drive-thru, handed you the correct amount of money, change included, you asked me to pull over into one of the reserved parking spaces. I have followed your instructions to the exact specifications you spoke, and yet, after waiting over 15 minutes, my order was not delivered as promised. Thusly, my associates and I have come into this establishment so that we may acquire a full... Levis's eyes widen as he rushes to stop the shapeshifter from finishing that sentence. No! Nerus only squints in response. No, surely under both state and national jurisdiction, if I am not provided the product I pay for, I am entitled to a full Please. The retriever, shaking, throws his hands to his ears, begging the customer not to say the word that would spell his doom. I do not understand why you are so terrified to embrace my request, little servant. Please, sir. I can give you anything but that. You have that power. You do not strike me as one possessed of the ability to meet any demand I may have. Though... Nerus thinks to himself for a moment before he eventually just shakes his head. There are a few things I desire of this world. I would be overjoyed to finally obtain them. Levis's pupils shrink. Be that as it may, I simply cannot leave without a... I actually forgot what it was called. Formally frozen in place, Levis breathes out a shaky sigh as a slight smile curves onto his lips. Had he been spared by some stroke of blind luck, a merciful goddess smiling down on him? A single tear falls down his cheek, the anticipation of doomsday finally washing away. Refund. Doom, the second that accursed word passed the mouse's lips, all of their lives had ended. Levis knew all he could do was collapse to his knees, wordless. He had lost. Oh yes, thank you for reminding me. I am requesting a full refund. An audible click can be heard from the back of the store as a new voice enters the fray. Now hold them horses, gents. Let's not be too hasty. The usual imposing rabbit stumbles out of the manager's office, struggling to buckle his pants. Nerus stares befuddled as Virgil practically slams into the counter next to Levis. He grips the dog's neck, squeezing harder than he usually does, Levis cringing at his touch, knowing what his boss usually gets up to during his conference calls. The white wolf sniffs the air, confused. Were you just... No, I was merely working out on my Peloton. A good businessman has to maximize every second of the day. Irrelevant. I am simply trying to request a refund from this young ward of yours. If the boss man wasn't wearing a mask, a forehead vein would be visibly throbbing. Whatever could you be referring to, loyal customer? I believe that pup is capable of explaining the situation to you. As he says this, the retriever turns into a pool of jelly, slipping out of Virgil's grasp and onto the floor. Perhaps not then. Well, to put it simply, my companions and I would like a refund. Virgil's psyche shatters before Nerus can even finish uttering the dreaded word. His shoulders slack and his pupils dilate as the room begins to spin. Refund? That is how the word is pronounced, yes. We would like one. The shadows in the room grow harsh, and the halogen bulbs flicker above the pair. Now, kind sir, you may be one of our valued, loyal customers. I have quite literally never been in a McDonald's before. I have no loyalty to your establishment. However, I simply cannot allow you this. The wolf shifts his posture, unfazed by the cosmic horror unfolding before him. To him, it was simply Tuesday. We did not receive our food, therefore a refund seems appropriate. Well, I cannot account for my boy's Levis's general quality. I observed this order being made firsthand. The comatose canine flinches instinctively at the mere mention of his name. His suffering has only just begun. Are you proposing that I am lying? Simply mistaken. The shift in energy between them is palpable. Dust and debris start to rise off the ground. I have a very simple way that we can solve this, without going to corporate. Nerus rolls both set of eyes, though only one is visible. Have at it then. The bunny produces a coin from seemingly out of thin air. It's a promotional McDonald's play token featuring the lovable scamp known as a Hamburglar. Do you want to play a game? Wrong franchise. Virgil kicks the wage slave in the ribs without losing his composure. With a tiny yelp, the dog finally free from the rest of the scene. Yes or no? Nerus sighs and leans over the counter, staring directly into the rabbit's golden ocular orbs. I will play your silly little game if it means recovering our lost coin. Alrighty, place your bets. You win, you get your precious little refund. And should I lose? Well, let's just say you better hope you don't lose. I'm already down one employee. Fine. Heads. Befitting a man like you. We have never met. With a flick of the wrist, the coin is set twirling through the air, catching the light at the apex of its flight. Time stops for a moment as the weight of the gamble washes over the participants. Their hearts are beating like a drum, a bead of sweat running down Virgil's cheek. This is it. The coin lands perfectly right side up, neither heads nor tails. I believe this is the definition of anticlimactic. How? Stumped and out of options, Virgil decides to offer his final hand. Okay, I'll give you one last offer. This is only reserved for my favorite customers. I may have memory problems, but I definitely stated that I do not eat here. The rabbit extends a sweaty palm towards the ageless wolf, quivering in anticipation. I'll look over this little mishap. If you agree to share a portion of my power. Imagine the possibilities, eldritch magic beyond the pale of mortal comprehension. The infinite power of an omnipresent god at your fingertips. Free parking at any of our fine establishments within the greater county area? You have a deal. Nerus confidently extends a meaty paw towards Virgil's, ready to shake on this strange deal. The rabbit smirks decisively. Pleasure doing business with you, partner. He closes his fist and a ball of stickly green light extends outwards, encompassing the entire restaurant. The deal has been struck, and the elder gods of the 9 realms will remember this moment throughout the eons. The lights fade and the rabbit's vision comes back into focus. What the? Enclosed in his fist was not the firm, muscular hand of the white wolf, but instead a tiny mouse's girl's, with a foreboding term emblazed across her nails. What the hell is a gamer? She grins, her smile being neither one of pleasure nor evil, merely one of deranged greed. A deal's a deal, dude. I want that Wi-Fi. The all-powerful rabbit knew immediately that this woman was not to be trifled with. Her aura overwhelms even his own limitless. Who are you? Marini pulls her hand back gently, admiring the cosmic power crackling around her body. A whale, nothing more. She is very clearly a mouse. Everything about this day was ridiculous, and at this point, Nerus's already thin patience has been exhausted. But how did such a weak body absorb all that infernal energy? You should have been driven mad. Bro, I've been playing mobile games since 2013. This woman's lost her mind many years ago, it seems. Alright, I suppose I'll give in. I know when I've been beaten. Levis, did you fix the coffee machine? The golden retriever pops his head up just a moment to give the boss man a thumbs up before once again disappearing from his scene. With seemingly no effort whatsoever, the Mad Bunny summons a delicious McCafe beverage upon his tray. You ordered yourself a coffee, didn't you? Nerus squints his eyes, all 2 of them. Why yes, I certainly did. He hesitates, however, suspecting that the manager has something else in mind. Your coffee's ready. What? Here you go. 1 coffee black. A large, ribbed hand extends past the pair, plucking a tiny paper cup off of Virgil's tray. What do you... Virgil smirks, having succeeded in his petty prank. Nerus, however, having reached the upper limit of his patience, scoffs. I tire of these games, sir. Would you... Virgil cuts him off, raising his tone slightly. Listen, if you want a coffee so badly, why don't you just take your little gang to Starbucks? Trevor begins visibly shaking back at his table. What's wrong? I don't know. I feel like someone was talking about me. Your ears are just playing tricks on you, silly. Where are your ears? Neither of the boys acknowledge her. Damian continues to make his tiny plastic tiger doot around the table. Damn, hey guys, come check this shit out. It's gonna be hecking amazeballs. Not a single word. Okay, whatever, dudes. As Marini is about to grab a french fry off of Damian's tray, he eyes her down with an animalistic evil gaze, baring his fangs and all but hissing at her. Fine. She backs off the tray and Damian returns to ignoring her existence. Nerus scoffs, ironclad in his belief in a right to a refund. Despite the manager's constant avoidance of doing so, Nerus is sure that he will walk out of that restaurant with it. even if it took the rest of time. Virgil, though, had enough of this farce. The gamer wrench, the walking ad for a retirement village, the next Burrow's protagonist. It all had to stop now. With a quick hand motion under the counter, Virgil assumes his battle-ready position. Playing cards begin to manifest, charged with deadly magic. Nerus' instinct kick in faster than his time-addled brain, and he defensively pushes the comatose rodent out of the way, anticipating an attack. The last time I did this, I got sued, but... Before Nerus can react, a card swoops past his head and over to the McCafe machine, which is kept at approximately 1,000,000 degrees Fahrenheit at all times, though it appears to do nothing. Nerus remains stiff, on the lookout for foul play, but for all his waiting, nothing happens. With the menacing rabbit showing no further signs of hostility and no immediate apparent effects resulting from his trickery, the shapeshifter finally sighs. Even for an eternal being, he feels that his time was thoroughly wasted, with nothing but a botched food order and at least $17 less in his wallet to show for it. I am leaving now. He wastes no time in wheeling about and making for the door in defiant fashion, in spite of his treatment here. Nerus, you always leave. Virgil knows what is coming, evident by the toothy grin spreading across his muzzle. The house always wins, after all. Before the rodent can even process what is happening, the McCafe machine behind him erupts, dousing him in molten coffee. He writhes and contorts as he collapses to his knees, sustaining fatal injuries to his entire body. Marini, displaying her usual level of tact, stoops down on her way towards the door. Hey, bro. My friends are being stingy. Help a fellow mouse out? Like, $5? She is answered only by screams of agony. Wow, kinda selfish, but okay. Meanwhile, Asterion walks through the front door, setting his tablet on his belt. The mouse girl passes by him on her way out. Hey, so sorry about that, business calls and all that. So, what's going on with our order? Asterion takes a moment to look around, but before he is able to process any of the information, he sees a jingle from his tablet sounds. Oh, I'm so sorry I have to take this. Huh, serves look right, he shouldn't have stuck it in there. Asterion promptly walks right back outside. Killigan, fresh from the lavatory, holds up a hand to wave to Asterion, but isn't noticed as the Minotaur walks right back out. Hey, wait up! The Bovo rushes to catch up, but feels a spindly set of fingers wrap around his ankle. Killigan freezes in place. You... Listen, kid, please, I just want to go outside, no more weird shit. He says in an uncharacteristically pleading tone, desperation evident. This spot would have marked my grave had you not come along. Come, if you would. I am very uncomfortable. For that is my curse. Killigan's entire body shudders as several thousand spindly fingers claw over his spine, yanking him back towards the walking corpse in the center of the restaurant. What the fuck? Once his brave bravado knight had been forced to kneel down beside him, it was simply a matter for Ollie to latch his lengthy arms around Killigan's shoulders. Now... His voice dropped to a barely audible whisper. Rise. Asterion, get this thing off of me! Killigan rushes out the door in panic, wearing his bony living shawl. The sun cast its oppressive orange glow over those four friends as they walked across the vast McDonald's parking lot one final time. Nerus is content and enjoying the silence, until Asterion chimes in. So, if you don't mind me asking, what exactly happened while I was outside? You don't appear to have our food, so you got a refund instead? The great shapeshifter shakes his head, not looking at his friend as he talks. I did not. Ah, so... The Minotaur cuts himself off, feeling the intense miasma of disinterest the big white eye is stewing in. Perhaps it's for the best that I don't know. Killigan drools over out of the side of his mouth, his eyes glazing over and dark. He cannot hear what his friends are talking about, nor can he hear his own thoughts anymore. Nay, all he can hear are the sickly sweet whispers of the cold, dark moon. The little creature clinging tightly onto his back feels some semblance of joy, having been hidden from his worst enemy, the sunset. The sound of Asterion's hooves clopping along the pavement suddenly stop. He takes one last look at the McDonald's. Perhaps things could have gone differently if I had... He mumbles to himself, shaking his head. No, 'tis not my place to say. Come, Sir Asterion, the car will not walk to itself. The Minotaur smiles, resuming his previous pace. Of course. All's well that ends well, right? Killigan is forced to nod as well. Nerus, however, has a singular doubt pestering his clouded mind. I just cannot help but feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, that was longer than I thought. So, did y'all recognize those characters? I recognize Nerus, from Nerus, Asterion from Minotaur Hotel. Let's see if it shows the rest. Time now. And oh, there we go. Killigan from Killigan's Treasure. Ollie and Trevor from Beyond the r-r-r-re-re-re-re-re, which, is up on the channel if you guys are interested. Virgil from Burrows. And Levis from The Blue Cloth. That's one I haven't heard of. Damian from Spirit the Summoners of Ein Claire. Marini from apparently various places. So that was it. So what did you guys think? Have you had any horrible experiences at a McDonald's and their horrible parking? Not their parking, their drive-thru where they make you go, and pull up to the parking spots for a simple order of chicken nuggets and a cheeseburger? Back in the McDonald's, the only sounds that ring through its empty walls are those of a game coming through PC speakers and those of the quiet crinkling and thudding of wrapper paper as Damian practices tossing them into the trash from afar. Lobby hours must have surely ended by now, but anyone who cared to enforce them is long gone. The manager has not been seen since the contentious incident, likely formulating the optimal way to subtly cut the lone employee's pay after today's blunder in optics. Speaking of exploited wage slave, Levis is presently sprawled over the front counter, surrounded by 3 empty blueberry acai flavor daily immune support plus extra strength 5-hour energy shots. The retriever snores softly as his head rests on the still functioning keyboard, resulting in a pending order of 356 filet-o-fish sandwiches and counting. Trevor, perhaps finally noticing the change in lighting, raises his head for the first time in hours. Oh, I think we may want to go. Damian, who had switched targets to the sleeping Levis, tries one last time but only succeeds in bringing the front counter's sandwich wrapper count to 5. The main wolf clicks his tongue and nods. Yeah, I guess you're right. Got a shift at QB tomorrow. Guess today flew by kinda fast, huh? Not much really happened. Well, minus the standoff, I guess. The wolf raises a brow. Standoff? The one between the manager and Nerus? Don't you remember? It looked pretty tense. I was worried for a sec. Trevor could swear that he saw the color drain from Damian's fur in that moment. Nerus? Did I hear that right? Nerus? Here? Oh, yes? It was quite a shock, really. He cuts a much more imposing figure in person. Actually, it was pretty impressive. He commands such an aura of masculinity and... Hey, are you alright? And that was it. That was way longer than I expected. So yeah. So what you guys think? Was it funny to you? Have you guys had any horrible experiences in a McDonald's drive-thru similar to this? You know, minus all the shenanigans that happen here. I personally hate going through the McDonald's drive-thru because they always make us wait. And it's always like a simple order, just like 10-piece chicken nuggets and like 2 cheeseburgers, and that's it. Maybe some fries. Maybe 2 drinks. But it's usually not that difficult. Just give me my hamburgers and chicken nuggets. But anyways. So yeah. So that was the April Fool's update. Well, it wasn't an update. It was just the April Fool's release. And a whole bunch of visual novel people chipped in. And with their characters, I guess. Bringing up Nerus. You'll actually be able to see Nerus on the channel. But it actually won't be me narrating it. 2 friends of mine, Bear, who you should know from Arches, and that one time that he did a voice for Socially Awkward, and Omar, who is an artist who you might recognize from 2 comics that he does. One is Incineroar and Chestnut Becomes Friends, and Incineroar and Chestnut finally fuck. And the other one is I Love You and I Love You Too. And he has a whole bunch of merch that you can buy. So I'm plugging his, stuff for him. I hope he appreciates. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, they'll be narrating the prologue of Nerus, and it'll be up on my channel soon, hopefully. I need content. And yeah. So expect that, and it won't be me. Yay, I won't have to read for once. Yay! I can finally get a break. But anyways, so yeah. Look forward to that. And anyways, thank you all for watching / listening. If you would like to play this, whatever this was, yourself, you can find it over on itch. And I will post a link down for, I guess, Minotaur Hotel, and Burrows, and Nerus, and whatever other visual novels were mentioned here, so that you can, their Twitter pages though, not the itch links, because I can't post itch links on here, because YouTube doesn't like them. And what was I saying? Oh yeah, I'll post the Twitter page links down in the description. I'm sorry, I'm like out of it right now. So yeah, if you want to play their visual novels, then go over there and you'll find direct links to them. And yeah. So I guess that's it for now, and I'll see you guys in the next video, which will be a serious video. And if I'm timing this correctly, the next video should be Remember the Flowers. So, you have that to look forward to. So anyways, yeah, bye.